Hello? Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it says I'm live. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Yes. Okay. Okay. It says we're back. It says we're back. It says we're back. I think so, at least. Me believes. Yeah, we back. Okay. Good, 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 good. Now we're good. Now we're good. Now we're good. Now we're good. Yay, the crunch is gone. Okay. We're doing better now. If that happens again, let me know. Thank you for letting me know that that was happening. It took a little bit to restart. That might have been partially affecting my OBS. But we should be good now. My emotional support fanboy in 4K again. Yes, indeed. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Okay. I think we are good to continue. Give me one quick second. Here. Okay. All right. We continue then. 3, 2, 1, popcorn.
The movie doesn't really pick a side either way about whether or not Metro Man's choice is justified or cowardly. It's up to the audience to decide, and I really like that. He doesn't have that moment where he comes back in the end. It's just Megamind pretending to be him in order to scare off Titan. That's honestly a great subversion of that tired, annoying trope that even Moana does. Honestly, that's probably the only problem I have with Moana, if we're being honest. Instead of Maui coming back for no reason to help Moana fight Taka, Tamatoa should have risen from the depths and entered a kaiju battle, which would have gone down as the greatest third act in cinematic history, but whatever, they tried, I guess. But if Metro Man using his powers for notoriety casts him in a negative light, what about someone using those powers for
Evil!
Hal Stewart is an incel, and also one of the most unique and subversive takes on a supervillain I've ever seen. Remember in my Frollo video when I said that Disney would never have the guts to develop a seemingly nice character into a villain over the course of a story unless they were secretly evil the whole time?
That was his shit!
Well, what do you know? DreamWorks already beat him to it. Hal doesn't start off as an evil monster,
What are you doing
though
to me?
he also isn't exactly a nice guy, unless we're talking this kind.
If he mentioned a nicer guy, he is a nice guy.
Oh
He's
no.
kind of a total creep, actually, who feels entitled to Roxanne because he's just so gosh darn nice to her. He's
Can we, yeah, okay, one second. Can we talk about how uncomfortably common this behavior is along, around lonely men? Like, young men specifically, let's say like 30 down. It's the emotional entitlement of, I'm nice to you, so you need to like me, is like, bro. All my homies hate incels. Yeah, fuck incels. But like, I want to say something. Sometimes I think there's a little bit too much of white and black thinking. Like, oh, I obviously am not as obnoxious, but just like how you don't have to, like, I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound bad, and like, follow me on this one. Just because you don't identify as racist, let's say, doesn't mean that you may not have like racist actions. To give you an example, so someone may not believe themselves to be an incel, but have some incel behavior, and I feel like that's where a lot of introspection at times is lacking. Because yeah, you may not be the worst creep ever that, you know, follows girls to their homes, but there are some things that may need improvement, and that's something that doesn't immediately make you a bad person or, you know, a horrible being or a hero. There's no big bad or big evil. We are all, as I said before, in shades of gray, and we're all trying to grow and improve as people, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. There might be some behaviors I don't know that are not nice that I need to learn to work around, but it's that growth mentality, I think, that can get you out of it. Not being like, oh no, I committed this one mistake. I'm a horrible, horrible being. How dare I? I'm so horrible. I'm bad. Oh no, no, no. Like, that won't get you anywhere. That kind of mentality just keeps you stuck in this little like hole of self-doubt and pittiness. It's really not. Nah, it's not the way to do that. I've been yelled at by a dude for being too nice once. I work retail. They were mad at you for being nice. What the hell? Oh, when you're nice to somebody and they think that you like them more than usual. Yes. Just because someone is nice to you doesn't mean they like you or like they love you and they want to go on a date with you. Sometimes people are just decent beings. And that, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to call out some people from my past. At times, like, this happened years ago, so it's not like they're going to know now. But I vividly remember there were some people, like there was this, I think it was one or two guys. I remember one, but I'm not too sure about the other. There was this one guy that he was convinced that I was in love with him simply because I was nice. Simply because I'm like, oh, you care about this thing? Please tell me about it. Oh, hi, how was your day? Let me send you a message every now and then. And he was convinced that I loved him and that I had feelings for him when I was just being a decent human being. Yippee, parasocial. Exactly. And like it's always very fast too. Like the first 2 weeks is like, oh, you like me, you talk to me, you tolerate me, we must be in love. And it's like, no. No. You're nice to me, you probably love me, you know. I do love you, Mleko, but not in a romantic way. But like platonic love is amazing and I adore it, but like, yeah, some people take it a little too far. Anyways,
Not like those other guys. You see, he's a nerd, so there's no way in hell that he could mistreat her. He understands women. He gets it. Honestly.
Also, there's this like weird sense of superiority. Can we like some incels have this like breed of like, I'm a superior man, and it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. You're just a human being. Get off your horse.
This character was kind of ahead of his time, since we now live in the age of nice guys who feel this bizarre sense of entitlement to women because media and society have made them believe that they deserve the girl no matter what.
Oh my god, you're not like, it's also that I am not abusive, so I deserve a girlfriend. Like, no. Oh, people be normal, challenge impossible. I know. I don't know what they think that. It's basically like, the way I see it is a lot of emotional immaturity, and they've been fed lies. They've been fed this idea that things are supposed to work this way, and this is how the world works, and this is the only way things are. It's a lot of emotional immaturity, pretty much. So like, there's a lot of people that are very good people now, but were incels when they were 13. That's the tricky part about it, is growing out of it, because it's relatively common amongst men, I've noticed. But it's getting out of it that really tests you, in my opinion. And one of the ways that I've noticed that people get it, like the way, I don't know if I ever had that, to be honest. I don't know if I ever had that. I might have. But the way that I've seen others get out of it is that you put yourself in the shoes of the other person. Like, imagine you're just trying to be nice to someone that you don't find sexually attractive, and they keep harassing you, or they feel entitled to your time, to your attention, that you are meant to fit in this box. You are meant to love me. You are meant to appreciate me and give me attention and validate all my traumas, but I'll never be there for you emotionally. You're in my vicinity and looked in my direction. We must be fate. Yeah, it must be fate.
Only now is this sort of skeevy behavior starting to get called out, but Mega Man's got it even back in 2010. If an entitled perv suddenly got godlike powers in real life, they would be the villain. He gets angry when Roxanne hangs out with another guy. He has a poster of her.
It's a deep-rooted, like, incredibly big insecurity, basically. That's like, bitch, that's where fucking jealousy comes from. It's out of insecurity. It's out of, I don't feel like, I feel so replaceable that I feel threatened by anything that I feel like could take my place. When you are in a secure place, when you communicate, when you are comfortable, you don't really have a reason to be jealous. And even more if there's open and honest communication. That's just my take, though. I'm nice to like everyone. I don't think anyone thinks I love them. Yeah, no, like I'm not saying. This happens with a specific kind of people that sadly happens to be kind of common amongst young lonely men. Wow, we looked at each other. We're gonna smash for real. Yeah, some people really do think that the smallest hint of, oh, you gave me attention, that means you're interested in me. Like, that genuinely happens. Ask my DMs.
Hanging up with a taped on portion that says "Good night, Hal." He invites her to a party where it's just gonna be the two of them with a wedding photographer.
Also incredibly low self-awareness. Like, these people do not realize how weird and odd they look. They think they're this protagonist in this romantic movie and everything is gonna be beautiful and romantic in the end. And it's like, no.
Photographer there?
I don't know, Hal. I don't really feel like being around a bunch of people.
No, that's the best part. It'll just be like you and me.
In Hal's mind, the only thing holding him back from being with Roxanne is a lack of superpowers. He's already perfect for her, but she likes Metro Man because he's got muscles and perfect hair and so on and so forth. So now that Hal's super, all he has to do is take her on a flight against her will, put her in mortal danger, then save her. Ta-da! They're in love. Except no, because that's unrealistic and dumb. Roxanne
Again, this is very, like, this is immature. This is the maturity. This guy has the brain as if he was like 13 years old. And he's like, I do step A, B, and C, and then you love me. And it's like, no. Human beings are a lot more complex than that, specifically when it comes to emotions. Sometimes, like, think about the complexity of adult relationships. Things happen. Things are weird. Emotions change. Sometimes you really like someone in the beginning, but then you don't. Sometimes you can like someone platonically, but not romantically. Sometimes you like someone aesthetically, but not romantically. Sometimes you like someone sexually, but not romantically. And sometimes you like someone romantically, but not sexually. Like, things change and evolve all the time. It's a soup of mess. It's a mess being an adult. It's a fucking mess. And relationships should be treated as what they are. Very complex things that are adapting all of the time, and expectations are just going to hurt you. It's never expect too much, like, out the go. I like, allow things to adapt is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes they'll never talk to you again. Okay, that's kind of sad, but you know, we move on. We are not dependent on this person to work, to function, to survive, to cope. It is just, it would be nice if it happened kind of thing. You should be able to live your own life and have your own goals and prove yourself. Not just that, but also impulse yourself to work towards the things that you want to do without needing someone else there holding your hand. It's nice to have company sometimes, but independence is absolutely required, even more in this day and age. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the little sheepy nodding.
Roxanne justifiably tells him that they'll never be together, and he kind of throws a temper tantrum and leaves. He's unable to accept the idea that the problem wasn't his lack of power.
The Ted was talking.
It was his scumminess and entitlement. Much like how Metro Man stuck with the hero gig in order to gain.
Thank you for coming to my tech talk. Free therapy lessons. I'm kidding.
Adoration. Hal only wanted to be a hero in order to get the girl. When that doesn't happen, he decides to steal stuff instead because it's just in his nature to be horrible. Now he finally has an outlet to do horrible stuff without any concern of potential consequences. And also, I didn't pick up on this until the end of this whole script writing process, but I now kind of see some similarities with Syndrome. A dorky ginger kid gets rejected, which makes him angry, but then he gets super abilities of some kind, and now he's out for a revenge. Hal is admittedly no Syndrome in terms of menace, or well, presentation! But he is probably funnier than Syndrome, so there's that.
You're living a fantasy. There is no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there is no Queen of England.
Not anymore.
No, that's not good.
Plus, Syndrome was a commentary on toxic, entitled fans.
You're not affiliated with me.
Hal is a commentary on toxic, entitled nerds who think they're owed women's affection. Yeah, he calls Roxanne out for never taking the time to get to know him before he became Titan. But then you remember that he has literally never not been creepy in any of the scenes these two characters shared. I genuinely hope nobody watched this movie and said, yeah, well, Hal has a point, you know, because, like, no. Hey, wait a minute. How did he even afford a wedding photographer in a bouncy castle with the salary of a cameraman? Hey, wait, he lives in this tiny apartment. Where was the bouncy castle supposed to go up? Unless he was lying about it?
You really think someone would do that?
That's it. I hate this guy even more now. He's even eviler than Syndrome and the most evilest bad guy in the whole world. How could he betray the sanctity of bounty castles like that? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Can we just cut to the next part?
Lying no way from a scummy person?
The trade.
Who could have thought?
Mark Schaeferless talks about humor and music in the same segment of the video. It's kind of hard to talk about what makes comedy work or not work due to its subjective nature, and I think the biggest flaw with my Shrek 2 video is my inability to fully explain what made the comedy work so well. So let me try to thoroughly detail why Megamind is a cinematic riot. This movie just has a sense of energy to it that a lot of other animated movies sorely lack. It's not overly energetic like that wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man from Norm of the North, but it's not lifeless and flat like the entirety of Shrek the Third.
Fuck Shrek the Third.
There's always a great sense of comedic pacing, which is owed to the performances, the animation, the editing, and the writing all coming together into a great package. Will Ferrell is great as Megamind. Honestly, this might be his best role. He delivers his comedic lines so expressively and delightfully, while also bringing a nice amount of dramatic pathos to the role. Tina Fey, Brad Pitt, and David Cross all bring a lot to their characters as well. And while Jonah Hill is pretty well cast as Hal and delivers some lines very well, there are admittedly some lines that could have used an extra take or two and didn't feel super convincing.
This isn't how you play the game.
Game over.
That's kind of weak.
Wait, that was the best take you got from him?
Still, for the most part, this movie doesn't feel like celebrities going through the motions. It feels like a genuinely great cast that complements the roles and the script. It's not like those random animated movies that just throw Seth Rogen in there because haha, funny man, voice animal, haha, funny joke. Even Kung Fu Panda is guilty of this. Just, can Hollywood stop hiring Seth Rogen for voiceover work? I don't even hate him. I'm just tired of hearing his voice. Oy vey. Let's get back to talking about funny movie now. The animation lends itself to comedy so well simply based on the way the characters move. There's a hilarious segment where Megamind pretends to fight another guy who he's disguising himself as, so he switches back and forth while also complimenting himself along the way. It's so good. There's also the way his giant robot moves, the poses and body language Metro Man and Titan make while flying, all the amazing.
The storyboarders here had so much fun, and you can tell. That's what I love about movies like this. The team had fun. That's what I like to see.
Facial expressions these characters make, it's so solid.
Art is fun. Art is an expression. POV, you're Seth Rogen animated movie. Yeah.
The star of the show here is the writing. It feels like this movie has more laughs per minute than the average DreamWorks movie. It simply crams so many into a short period of time that even if one isn't a banger, there are at least 5 more coming up that are. Dude, that exchange between Megamind and Metro Man about...
I think it will actually, I think that was actually the right take on, Dugan Hill, because Titan wasn't meant to be right to deliver Titan really wasn't meant to be right to deliver the line. He gives a weak game over because his attitude was weaker than a typical villain. He doesn't have the presentation. That's a good take. I like that. I can survive with that. That's pretty good. I like that. Okay. Little factoid, Minion's suit is based on a random alien from an old ass terrible sci-fi movie called Robot Monster. Understood. Oh. What happened? Well, that was odd. My fucking screen closed for a second. It's all good now.
Warranties, that actually made me laugh harder than anything in Shrek 2. That is high praise right there. These characters just have such strong, quirky personalities that mesh really well together and lead to a ton of great exchanges over the course of the movie. The other thing that meshes well? The music. There's so many iconic rock songs that complement the bad theme so well. Like Back in Black, Crazy Train, Welcome to the Jungle, Bad, and of course, Highway to Hell.
The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test
William,
that progressively
you're sitting
gets
on the
more
remote.
difficult as it continues.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was a brownie.
Anyway, yeah, these songs are well implemented and make these scenes exciting. Nothing amazing in this department, but it's important to recognize that it doesn't have the same garbo implementation as Shrek the Third. That's important. Oh yeah, and hearing Mr. Blue Sky play over a montage that includes a Donkey Kong reference is something I never knew I needed. So yeah, great characters, humor, music, animation, all that good stuff. But how's about I serve you a delicious plate of drama? Better eat it hot, because it does not taste good when reheated in the microwave of evil, let me tell you.
Who would I be without you? And I love you, random citizen.
Yeah, Keanu, my love.
It's kind of weird that I went this long without discussing the actual story, but to be honest, I just wanted to save the best part of the movie for last. Though, don't expect this to have the same impact as the end of the Shrek 2 review. I'm just gonna say right off the bat that I don't even plan on trying to top that. I don't have the same personal connection to Megamind's growth in this movie as I did with Shrek's, but I think the character growth this movie showcases is almost as strong, if not equal to Shrek 2. Towards the beginning, I mentioned that Megamind is really only a villain because society deems him so. No one has ever given him a chance to be anything other than evil. It's the only thing he's good at because it's the only thing he's allowed to do. So when he takes over the city, it's no surprise that he quickly becomes bored of it. The superhero he fought, the only person who gave his life any sort of meaning, is now gone. He has no purpose anymore. That's the thing about life. Success is actually kind of meaningless in the sense that it doesn't give you true happiness. True happiness comes from connecting with others, forming bonds, sharing experiences, and making each other happy. This isn't strictly tied to romantic connection, it's just in our nature to seek companionship of any kind. That's all Megamind wanted growing up, to be loved and accepted by his peers. But just like Shrek, he's an outcast simply due to society's preconceived notions about him and his nature, meaning he has no choice but to be the monster that people expect him to be. Now that his evil ambitions have been achieved, of course he's unhappy. He never aspired to be evil until society convinced him that's what he wanted. It's almost poetic that he finally finds genuine purpose with Roxanne Ritchie. Yes, he kidnapped her a bunch of times, but that's the villain gig, kidnapping someone close to Metro Man to draw him out. It's clearly not personal against her, as evidenced by this exchange.
What if tomorrow we could go kidnap Roxanne Ritchie? That always seems to lift your spirits.
Good idea, Minion. But without him, what's the point?
So when he accidentally inspires her while disguised as the librarian Bernard, and she returns that kindness by being kind to him for the first time, you get the feeling that he deserves the second chance at happiness. They both deserve a chance at happiness after all they've been through. And now that there's someone in Megamind's life treating him with genuine affection, other than Minion, who's great but really just an enabler for his evil schemes, Megamind finally has a chance to grow as a person and improve himself. He cleans up the streets, returns everything he stole, and makes the city a safer place, all to make Roxanne happy. This is what a loving companion can do, help you become the best version of yourself you can be. Yeah,
also, like, this is not necessarily just on loving companions, but it's something that I do appreciate a lot on Roxanne here, is that she gave him a different perspective of life. She gave him a different perspective of values, of things that matter, of things that you should do and focus. She grabbed his trapped mind that was already focused on this very specific cycle of actions and pulled him out of that. That is incredibly important for human connections in general. I think, like, I've had one of the most interesting conversations ever with people that have just come from different walks of life, that live in different places, that grew up in different cultures. That is incredibly necessary for me. Like, as human beings, learning from others, hearing other people, not just talking and responding, hearing others and their experiences and how they went through different things or difficult moments in their life really helps you, like, I don't know, add more to the salad that is your brain. Add more knowledge to the salad that is your brain. I really enjoy it can be hard to learn how to listen to people without necessarily having to respond or add your own take, but it's something that I do recommend. It's healing. It helps you grow. It's nice. It makes it, like, not only are you making someone feel heard and loved and appreciated, you're also growing as a person at the same time. It's a win-win. Learning how to listen is a very important skill. Over here basically telling me to meet more people. Not just that, but also, like, I'm not saying it's easy to meet more people. I'm struggling with that right now, but definitely trying to deepen the bonds that you do have. And if you get a new one, then work on that. It really depends on person to person. I can't tell you, oh yes, like, become the closest ever with the next person you meet, because I don't know who you'll meet next. Maybe it'll be a piece of shit. Maybe you need to ignore them. I don't know. That is up to you to say. But calling me bitchless and friendless over here, I'm not doing that. I am just saying the things that have helped me and add more meaning to my life. Because that's something, bitch, during my break, that is one of the things that I've started to trying to, like, prioritize more, mostly because I noticed that the things that I was focusing on, like the things that I wanted to achieve so badly, or the things that I wanted to get so badly, weren't giving me, sorry, hold on, there you go, weren't giving me satisfaction. They weren't giving me any kind of enrichment. It was just kind of like a race that I was running, and like, okay, got to this goal, next, got to the, like, run to that goal, next, run to the goal, next. There was no breathe and slow down and happiness. The most happiness that I've ever gotten was from hanging out with friends, or, like, again, going to TwitchCon and meeting people that I never thought I would meet, and doing stupid things and playing Mario Kart and going to a big fucking convention, like, living my life, basically, not just going through the motions and going on survival mode, but having times, like, having moments where I am genuinely just connecting with others. That will help you. Also, hi, Chief. Thank you for throwing the chew at my face. Connecting with others is ideal. Listening to people, even the ones that you've never think to listen to. The biggest danger to society is the one created by a closed mind. Oh, yes, absolutely. Giving me a pause to think. What do you think? What do I want in life, and how does that relate to human need for connection? Yeah, like he said earlier, success is something that, number one, you determine yourself, because success maybe for you is having a lot of friends. Success maybe is doing all the chores at the end of the day. Success is maybe a lot of money. Success is maybe a lot of likes. Like, we are conditioned to chase certain things out of, again, survival. We live in a capitalist society. We kind of need money to survive. But there are certain points where the chase becomes meaningless. Like, after you met your quota of I can survive, the chase, it can get hard to get out of that chase, out of that race. That's something that I was struggling with. Like, mid break, I'm got used to breaking to rest from break, like to take a break from work. That was not healthy. Definitely finding things that you can enjoy that are just relaxing. Like, they don't have to be productive. They don't have to be super highly meaningful. Like, bitch, last stream, I was just coloring a Bluey book. And that, oh my god, the two headbutts started fucking overlapping. I did something that is considered childish and really meaningless. I wasn't really achieving anything by doing so, but I did it because it made me happy. That's something I'm trying to learn more how to do. Sorry for bragging, but what's your favorite movie you watch on 2024? Can I answer the question, and now you'll respond to my favorite movie. My favorite movie that I've watched on 2024. You mean one that came out on 2024? Because that's a different question. I've rewatched a lot of movies. Everything around the build up to being at TwitchCon with you and everyone just having a good time together was the happiest I've ever been. Yeah, this shit inspiring, to be honest. Thank you, Kay. Obviously, my stream dead. Why at this moment? No, like I am just sharing like my own personal growth, because again, I'm not a perfect person. I am not done growing at all. I am not done learning things at all. But I did think that sharing that little itty bitty of what my journey is currently looking like right now could be good, because like I don't want to get to I don't want, thank you for the yeet. I don't want to get to the point that I am like on my 60s and all I've done in my life is work, because that's what I thought would bring me any kind of meaning, and it didn't. And that's exactly what I don't want to do. I am still young. I still have a lot of life ahead of me. Even if I wasn't young, I still have a lot of life ahead of me, and I want to learn how to enjoy it. You don't stop developing until you're 30. And even later than that, like, bitch, my mom is in her 50s, and she's still learning so much about herself. It makes me proud of her. Like, the fact that, to give an example of my mom, like, she's a mother of a couple children, so she had to wait until we all kind of grew up and got out of the nest and are living our own lives for her to have like the time and the space to relearn about herself, there's a word for this, reinvent herself. There you go. And that made me like, she tells me about things. You want to know something amazing that my mom told me like literally 2 days ago? She's having her first ever art exhibition. My mom paints. She makes IRL paintings. And she was able to, after talking to some friends, she was able to get a spot on an art exhibition. And that's the first one she ever has. She studied art, but she had to drop it to work to support her family. And now, after having like multiple adult children, she has the opportunity to re-explore that again. And that made me so happy for her. Because everyone deserves a happy family. I was reading the chat. Everyone deserves a happy life. Everyone deserves to have the moment to relearn who you are again and again and again. Maybe before she liked something else, or she's been wanting to try art, and like, she's not just doing art. Her identity is not just one thing. That's the beautiful part about us human beings. We change, we evolve. Like, I used to be really into dinosaurs, and I still kind of am. I used to be really into parasites, and I still kind of am. Right now, my current hyperfixation is VTubers, but it could change tomorrow, and it could change again. And I think that's beautiful, because you can try and do and learn and fail and win again. it's a relearning yourself again and again. You keep becoming this new person, and it has beautiful things in it. You have control over who you can become in certain things. You can be one of the kindest people you ever met. That's one of the things that I want to do. I want to turn into a person that people are happy to meet. Someone that can bring something new to the table, or just help you see some things that maybe you didn't think about at the time. That's what I want to be, and that's something that she inspires me to do. What this reminds me is I took pitch of things I meant to send to you. Aw, you're a mega sweetie. Thank you. Thank my mom for that. But yeah, sorry, I got super fucking sidetracked. But yeah, I think humans are amazing. They can be. I know that a lot of things are very like gloomy and divided in some things, but there is a beauty in growing as a person and rediscovering yourself. If you don't know who you are right now, I think that's okay, because like you have the opportunity of learning who you are. That's amazing. It could be anything. You're always saying, well, yeah, crying stream of the month. First of the month, humans really can be amazing. Absolutely. That's why I care about people and connections. You don't know. People have their own lives, but they're cool. I don't know. People are nice. Sweet Lim is always sweet. Yeah. But that's one aspect of me. Maybe there are some that are more chaotic or lewd, or whatever. There's so many facets of a singular human being. I don't fully know myself yet, but I got a whole life to figure it out. Exactly. And there are some things that you have control over. You can add things to your life. You can add spice to it. It's fun. He's such a nice boy, Caleb Bizboy. Yum lewd. Yeah. But yeah. Sorry, I did. Going back to the video. Yeah, sorry for the distraction, but I hope that you guys enjoyed the rant.
He's technically lying to her, but it's not to hurt her, and there's no way that she would give the villain who murdered a superhero and took over the city a chance. And you know what? She's totally justified in thinking that. So when she does finally find out it's Megamind and they have an emotional
confrontation, the only kind you can handle, fuck you, died.
Where she tells him off for
wholesome yapping. Yeah, that happens every now and then. Ask the chat. Also, Lum, you should watch Transformers 1. I really should.
Things he's done.
The more I watch, like, again, this guy complimented it. That really means a lot.
It's brutally heartbreaking. You know she's right, but you also know that he's become such a better person thanks to her. This isn't some forced rift that tears two characters apart before they reunite in the climax, which admittedly this movie also does, but it's pretty well handled, so that's fine.
Also, important note here, personal growth is not linear. It's not like you will go back, you will commit mistakes, you will do things that you like, bad coping mechanisms that you wanted to get out of. You might slip and sometimes still do it. You might commit mistakes that you regret. Sometimes you may be a little bit too selfish or selfless. We are not perfect. We are really not. But that is where a lot of the patience comes in. Like, shut up, Uber. I don't know why I have a fucking Uber notification on my phone. That is where a lot of the patience and understanding comes in, and they keep trying, because there's always regression and progression. It's never always forward. Yeah, but like, I feel like people sometimes forget or can get frustrated with themselves because it's like, I was doing so well and then I did this, I'm so dumb. Like, no, you're not dumb. It's some things are hard to break. Habits are hard to break. Years of doing a certain thing are hard to change, or things that you were taught were a certain way are hard to change. Like my mom, to give you an idea, my mom had to rewire her entire brain for me to like, it took her some time to accept me the way that I am, like queer, gay, kind of feminine. It took her some time of relearning herself and revaluing the things that she can, like seeing what she values and relearning what that means. And she slipped and she committed mistakes, and sometimes she hurted me, like emotionally. I'm like never physically. Sometimes she did things that I wish she didn't. But in the end, after that entire process of ups and downs, she showed me that she was willing to keep trying. And even after she failed, she stood up and she kept trying. And thanks to that, I fucking love her and I still talk to her. And like, she has a relationship with her adult kid. I think that says a lot. Damn, needed to hear that. What the fuck? Thank you. Absolutely. Someone get this boy Caleb very comfy, loving hug. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, there will be ups and downs, and that's okay. What matters in the end is that when you are ready, you keep trying. I'm so happy that she grew to love and accept you. So nice when parents actually truly care. She does. She does. She does truly care. But it took her some time to get there. And I forgive her for what she's done. I forgive her for like things that she said that were hurtful at the time. She genuinely didn't know any better. And when she did, she stopped. So yeah.
This is an organic,
when Caleb
unflinchingly
talks, we listen. When Caleb talks, we say, hell yeah. Thank you, Chad. Thank you. Thank you.
honest moment that speaks to the emotional complexity and maturity of this animated Blue Will Ferrell movie. That was a real sentence, yes. This is DreamWorks' greatest strength as a company. They understand the intricacies of wanting to find meaning in something you never thought you were cut out for. Even if you never thought it was possible to be a good person, someone worthy of caring and praise and love, you always have the capacity to be that person. Everyone has it in them to change. And anyone who's been wronged by someone in the past so many times is completely justified in not giving that person another chance. Megamind understands this, and rather than kidnap Roxanne or force her to be with him, he lets her go because he's grown to respect her as a person and admits that her hatred for him and everything he's done is justified. This is great character growth that is deliberately contrasted with Hal, who can't move on because he sees Roxanne as an object who owes him affection. When Hal goes berserk, Megamind and Roxanne have no
They treat you like an object. Sorry, I had to.
choice but to team up again and find Metro Man, who, as it turns out, has no interest in helping them or the city. He tries to encourage Megamind by telling him that good will always rise to match evil, and that it may finally be his time to prove that he's good at heart. And after all the rejection Megamind has received, after everyone telling him that he'll never be more than a villain, he's internalized it and is unable to move past it. So he turns himself into jail. I used to find this plot point kind of forced, but honestly, at this point in the story, it makes perfect sense that he'd doubt himself to this degree. After reconciling with Minion and realizing that he can at least right the wrongs he caused Roxanne and the city, he returns, but disguised as Metro Man. This is crucial, not only because it intimidates Hal, but because he wants to give the city something to believe in, the hero they deserve. When Minion says,
"He's the real hero,"
I felt that, man. But the best part is when he
You notice how he's not trying to get praise compared to Mega Man, to Metro Man? He's not trying to like get all the pictures and oh my god, he came to save us, we love him and whatever. He understands the consequences of his actions. See, he understands that the city has no right to trust him, and maybe he doesn't believe him worthy. Like, he doesn't believe himself worthy of praise. So he's like, I will give the city what they are hoping for, and that is not me. But I care enough about what is happening to still stop him. Yeah.
sends after scaring Titan off, with the cheers of an adoring public echoing through the streets, only for Roxanne to extend her hand. Kind of unsure what to do, Megamind grabs her hand, but she goes for the watch and changes him back to normal, much to his and the crowd's surprise. He didn't think these people would understand or accept the idea that he came to save them. He wanted to keep the charade going since he thought it was in everyone's best interest to believe he was someone else, just like the entire time he was with Roxanne. But she makes the decision to let everyone know that yes, Megamind has changed for the better. And while the crowd hasn't quite figured out how to feel about this, the smile Roxanne gives him is all the acceptance he needs.
Pretty sneaky, sis. But there's only one person I know who calls this town Metrocity. Oops.
Yes.
This is honestly a really clever way for Titan to figure out it wasn't Metro Man. So after a brief fight with some solid laughs and even emotional reconciliations, Megamind finally saves the day, not by pretending to be someone he's not, but through his ingenuity and amazing inventions. The crowd cheers for him, and much like a lot of this movie, it's a perfect blend between heartfelt and hilarious.
Get back, you savages!
Sorry. He's just not used to positive feedback.
And after a great ending sequence where Megamind gets his own ceremony, the movie is over. Wow, what an incredible, funny, emotional, well-written masterpiece. I'm so glad it got the critical and commercial respect it deserved.
About that.
Megamind is the most baffling non-success I've ever seen. I get that Despicable Me came out first and everyone liked it or whatever, but Megamind is just a lot richer, more emotionally mature, and way funnier than Despicable Me, which I also really like, mind you. However, it made less money, had less positive critical reception, and made much, much less of an impact on popular culture. But it endures in a ton of internet circles, since people are really starting to realize in retrospect that it's one of DreamWorks' best movies to date. I don't think it's derivative at all, and I appreciate the subversions and twists it applies to the superhero formula. But people at the time didn't see it that way, including Mr. Jeffrey Katzenberg.
With money. Yep.
Back in April 2011, in a statement that really grinds my gears, Katzenberg said that DreamWorks would not produce any more movie genre parodies like Shark Tale, Monsters vs. Aliens, and Megamind, stating that they, quote, all shared an approach and tone and idea of parody, and did not travel well internationally. Oh boy. Now look, it's one thing to realize that genre parodies as a whole aren't generating revenue and to focus your efforts onto other projects. But this statement, which lumps a smart,
I'm sorry, but a lot of problems is old generation's inability to have anything emotionally mature within animation. Yeah, they're like, it's for children. Like, shut the fuck. It's a medium. It can do anything.
Emotional, witty, subversive take on a genre with two pieces of garbage that couldn't be bothered to tell good stories represents a fundamental misunderstanding of what Megamind was trying to accomplish. The problem with Shark Tale wasn't that it tried to parody mobster movies. The problem was literally everything else about it. It is a fundamentally broken movie. The mobster stuff is kind of secondary to the gaping flaws in terms of character and story. And Monsters vs. Aliens didn't do anything new or different with its genre. It's just a kid's monster movie that also happens to suck, don't at me. Maybe there was also an issue with the general look of Megamind's characters and world being so similar to this movie. I know as a kid, I was confused by the villain looking visually similar to Megamind, to the point where I mixed up these two movies all the time. That's the issue with Megamind and the way people perceived it. On the surface, it looks pretty similar to a ton of other animated movies at the time, and didn't seem to offer anything new.
Shark Tale is something that I watched as a kid, and I think I felt kind of neutral about it, and then I rewatched it as an adult, and I'm like, this shit ass, this shit trash. It's so bad it's good. Kind of trash. The humans in Megamind are kind of ugly. Yeah.
Many people either didn't give it a chance or watched it but tuned out the really strong elements because they thought it was just a ripoff of other successes. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Megamind is a genre parody, yes, but it does amazing, beautiful, surprising things with the genre it decides to lovingly spoof. It really has no reason being as great as it is, but as long as it is this great, I'm glad more people are giving it the attention it deserves. It's engaging, clever, fun, and powerful. Kind of like another 2010 DreamWorks movie that went unloved upon its release. I said unloved upon its release. Yeah. That's the one. Next time, baby. But first, I have a quick question. What's the most important aspect of building an online presence?
All right, enough. See, these analyses are good. This man is good. I love it. It's so it cares. I love video essays because people fucking care, and they dedicate like hours of their life editing 1 hour to 40 minutes to 20 minutes of a beautifully made video just talking about a movie that they love. Hi, that's all. How you doing, kitty? Mwah. I'm doing okay. I'm so tempted to ask for Transformer 1 review, but I know it's gonna have massive spoilers. Yeah, I want to watch the movie first. I want to have my own take on it before we get there, just like how I watched this movie first, and then the review. I really don't want to get too spoiled because it seems like it's a pretty decent movie. I just want to give it like a proper chance, per se. I want to give it a decent chunk at being good, basically. basically. I need to find you a way to watch it. Yes. Concept design essays are my weakness. That for me, like, yeah, it can be character design, but it's mostly usually just like animated shit. Chad, find this man a way to watch it. Okay, give me one quick second. I'm gonna check something. In the meantime, I will hear the sponsored.
The answer?
Okay.
If you want to develop your brand online, look no further than Squarespace, an intuitive online website building tool.
I think we are done for now.
And out. Squarespace allowed me to explore all the different styles and themes that make for a visually stunning website. I made my own film blog, which is definitely still a work in progress, but I'm excited.
I think we are done for now.
That make for an engaging visual experience. Squarespace can authenticate all your social media profiles so you can auto-post your content to Twitter,
I will be
Facebook,
sending you guys to someone else to raid. I mean, it's already digitally available. Where though? Are you going to rest? Yes, I am going to go rest. We started streaming at 2 something and it's 5:30. How many hours is that? 3? Something like that? 3 hours? Send to the Shadow Realm. I'll send you guys to raid somebody. Give me one quick second. Who can we raid that we can help? Maru streaming. Hold on. He's been streaming for 2 hours. I'm gonna send you guys to Moo Maru. I'm gonna be having a collab with him very soon and other streamers. I'll let you guys know when that is. I hope that you guys had a good stream. I will be seeing you guys not tomorrow, but probably the day after. And thank you for being here and sticking around to me just chatting about movies and bullshit. I appreciate you guys a lot. Mwah. And I hope that you have a good day. All right, I'll send you guys over there. Use my emote so Maru knows that it's us. Okay. Bye-bye.
Weirds in ads.
All right, make sure that it goes through.
I killed Mother, I got scared and ran away. Far, far away. Over the ocean. I wanted to forget everything.
Yes, okay.
I killed another. I eventually got addicted. I love seeing his favorite.